Welcome to Shakespeare Full Circle, a journey of a circuitous nature into the mind of the Bard of Avon, or as you become more familiar, Uncle Will. I'm your host, Kari Marshall. Two sets of twins, a storm, a shipwreck. Toss in some mistaken identity on the Greek Ionian coast, and let the mirth ensue. In 1594, when Shakespeare wrote A Comedy of Errors, which is another well-used phrase, though not coined by Uncle William, it must have been a welcome bit of needed levity following his 1592 blood-soaked play Richard III, that was incidentally penned during the plague, during which I like to imagine the term ye old lockdown was coined. The earliest recorded performance of the shortest play in the canon is referred to in the Gesta Graeorum, the Deeds of Grey, as being performed by, quote, a company of base and common fellows, having occurred in Gray's Inn Hall on the 28th of December of that year, during London's Christmas festivities. The story follows the exploits of two sets of twins, Master Antipholus and servant Dromio, who for some inextricable reason have identical names. Separated in a shipwreck 18 years before, Antipholus of Syracuse and his servant Dromio, also of Syracuse, set out to find them. The other set of twins have settled in the city of Ephesus, known as Antipholus and Dromio of Ephesus. As Syracusians are forbidden in the city, our new arrivals must don local garb to blend in amongst the locals, which, by chance, is exactly what their counterparts happen to be wearing, and slapstick shenanigans of mistaken identity ensue, ranging from wrongful beatings, arrest, accusations of infidelity, and seduction.
I never saw her till this time, villain! Thou liest! For even her very words dost thou deliver to me on the march. I never spake with her in all my life. How can she thus then call us by our names?
The phrase actually pops up in Act 2, Scene 2, when Dromio questions his master over the beating he received from his twin counterpart.
But I pray, sir, why am I beaten?
Dost thou not know?
Nothing, sir, but that I am beaten.
Shall I tell you why?
Aye, sir, and wherefore? For they say, every why hath a wherefore.
Why, first for flouting me, and then wherefore for urging it the second time to me.
Was there any man thus beaten out of season, when in the why and the wherefore there's neither rhyme nor reason?
When someone today says there's no rhyme or reason, it means the same thing as it did when Dromio first uttered those words, that there's no rationale for whatever's going on because there's no pattern, rhyme, or logic, reason behind it. In the end, Uncle William winds everything up nicely, with the twins finding each other and their parents and resolving all the problems caused earlier. The light-hearted start to this phrase can be found in poems from Ben Jonson to former UK Poet Laureate Carol Ann Duffy. Used in pop culture films such as an assassin questioning the death of his wife in John Wick.
How you holding up?
I keep asking why her.
There's no rhyme or reason to this life.
To a president attempting to kill the healthcare legislation of his predecessor.
And there's no consistency, there's no predictability, and there's frankly no rhyme or reason to what's been happening for so many years.
To that president addressing the credit card reform bill.
We also put a stop to retroactive rate hikes that appear on a bill suddenly with no rhyme or reason.
In fact, it is so often used in so many varying circumstances that there seems to be no relevance of its usage to any previous discussion or situation. One could say apropos of nothing, arbitrary, randomly illogical, or well, alas and alack, my friends, that's all we have time for. Join us again next time for another circuitous journey into the mind of Uncle William. I'm Kari Marshall. Farewell until next time. Today's clips were from Shakespeare's Globe 2015 production of The Comedy of Errors, starring Brodie Ross, Hattie Ladbury, Jamie Wilkes, and Simon Harrison. Director Matthew Needham. And from Oregon Shakespeare Festival's 1950 company radio recording. Shakespeare Full Circle is a production of WGTE Public Media. You can learn more and download all episodes at wgte.org/sfc or wherever you get your podcasts.